Sofia, Bulgaria. Capital city of a country that is home to 6.5 million people. We travel the world full-time, and our visit to Bulgaria is the final stop in our 8-month-long, 7-country tour of the Balkan region. Join us today as we check out the local fresh market, get an unusual breakfast, explore around the city's downtown core and pedestrian zone, and have a dinner that was not what we expected. All right, welcome to Sofia, Bulgaria. We just arrived last night, late on the bus, 9 o'clock. Got checked into our apartments, so there's 2 of us, 2 couples, 4 people traveling. And our first introduction to Sofia, Bulgaria is, of course, the taxi scammers at the bus terminal. So we arrived there, 4 people, luggage, needed a minivan. The first guy we asked takes a look at us, takes a look at our stuff. We're going 2 kilometers, 40 euros is what he wants, 40 euros. That's an absolute rip-off. I told him that's what it was. He didn't care. So we decided to walk around to where there's a hotel. There was a bunch of taxis there. They're all supposed to be on the meter by law. So we hopped in a cab. It was 10 Bulgarian lev, which actually was more than it should have been. But we felt okay because he had to drive around a little extra because we were a bit lost. And in the end, you know, it cost us 5 euros. So that was the introduction. But so far, we went out last night, had a little bit of look around the city, and yeah, we're just going to kind of hang out today and see what's kind of going on. Near where we're staying is a bit of a market. Get all your fresh stuff outside. So I think we're going to have a bite to eat. We're just kind of checking a few places here, see what we can find. Got your fish. So we're a little concerned since it's Sunday that there wouldn't be much going on, but actually this market here is booming. All sorts of stuff going on here. Oh, there's quite a large church here. I'm assuming that's an Orthodox church. Not sure. So the weather for us has turned considerably. It is actually really quite cold here today. It's maybe 15 degrees. So we've got all the warm clothes we own on because we don't really have winter clothes with us. We don't really have the space to pack warm winter jackets, but for us this is quite cold considering what we've been used to. Here's all your nuts and stuff. So that's all your fruit and veggies, your typical fresh market. So today is the Sofia Marathon. So we'll get some shots here of the people running in the marathon. So I have never run a marathon and won't be running a marathon. I don't even think I'll be walking a marathon, to be honest. Here you got an absolutely massive pile of parsley. Check this out. Kind of a nice outdoor market here. It's got all your usual stuff. This is one of the great things about the Balkans. We just love it. If you watch our other videos, you've seen this. We always hit the market. We always check out what's there. Chestnuts, peppers, spring onions. Those look good. Beautiful looking cauliflower, not something you find a lot of. Got all your legumes, your beans, jams. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of peppers. Here you've got okra. You got okra. Okra's quite small here actually. Corn. Yeah, it's a good market. Packaged spices. More okra. Peppers. Yeah, it's a pretty big market. That's a good one. Let's see what else we got here. Beautiful oranges here. Pomegranates. Plums. Wow. Look at this. Your fresh berries, raspberries, strawberries. Strawberries are really small here. They even have blueberries. I'm not sure what these are. These are like little shallots almost. And again, lots of peppers. If we were staying here long enough to cook and actually had space to cook, this would be perfect. We've got a really small apartment. We've got a studio. It's the smallest Airbnb we've ever had. And yeah, probably wouldn't stay in it for any kind of long term, but for short stay, it's all right. Anyway, we're gonna get a bite to eat. Some kind of casserole. Tastes pretty bland. Got some kind of potatoes here. Roast potatoes with, I don't know, carrots. Some chilies on them. Yeah. Those are good. Put some chilies on them. Tastes great. So Sarah's having tripe soup, 4 lev, includes bread. My 2 dishes were 14 lev. So they've got all the roads blocked off here with the marathon going. We're actually right in the downtown area here. Pretty old city for sure. A lot of the buildings in our neighborhood are really old and run down. We'll head up here to the main road here and see what's going on. We got a few more marathoners going here maybe. Got your kinky market there. Vending machines to buy all the stuff you want. Snacks, drinks. So for one of the main roads with the marathon here, it's pretty quiet. A lot of shops are closed on Sundays in Sofia, typical of the Balkans. You can get your hair cut and you can sure grocery shop here anyway. So one thing I do notice about Sofia so far is that there's not as many cafes and bars as you find all over the place in other cities we've been to. Not sure if it's just the area we're in, or maybe it's just not as big of a thing. There's certainly just not as many. Normally you'd find them on every street corner, cafes, bars, people sitting outside. So there's some really interesting architecture here. Like look at this building as an example. So believe it or not, it's a grocery store. It's the nicest looking exterior for a grocery store I've ever seen. Well, they've got a heck of a lot of security on this place. Alright, so this building here, it's a giant synagogue. And in the downtown city center here, you also have, there's a really large mosque. You got synagogues, churches, and mosques here. Got a bit of everything. And here they don't have the bin scooters. In Bulgaria, they're called lime. Seen quite a few of them around. What else have we got here? Here you've got Bulgarian McDonald's. So these are all part of the Sofia graffiti tour. So this is actually a pretty big attraction. There's tons of people here taking photos of the graffiti tour. Pretty cool stuff. City's so silent, no traffic with all these road closures. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of neat. Here's your Bulgarian mobility access for the underground walkways. You'd be going pretty bloody fast by the time you got down that thing. So underground here is actually the metro station. And they put some shops down here. Good luck pushing somebody up that or down that. I think it's just kind of there for effect, or maybe it's there to deliver supplies. I don't know. It does get you down to this train station though. So that must be what it is, mobility access. Balkan style. So in the downtown area, it's a really nice city. They got wide boulevards. You got trams that run down the street. They're not running right now with the marathon on, but yes. Some nice architecture. There's some run-down old crap, but there's some interesting things to see. I'm glad we came here. There's a huge church here. Makes it easy walking around today with all these roads closed. So this is a huge city. There's a lot of people here. Not sure exactly how many. I'll put it down in some notes here. We'll look it up, but it's massive. And of course, for us at home, it's harvest season, Thanksgiving long weekend, Halloween's coming up, and here you've got fall. What do you think of this city so far, Sarah?
It's a little hard to judge because it's so quiet because of the fun run or marathon or whatever's going on, but the architecture is beautiful, lots of interesting stuff to see.
You're right, it is. This is a big city. There's a lot going on here. Trams. Oh, it looks like we found a pedestrian walkway here. Oh, wow. Now this is a huge pedestrian walkway. Like all the great Balkan cities, most European cities, not to be found in America or Canada. Wonderful pedestrian walkways. Oh, this is where you find all your cafes, bars, lots of restaurants. Some craft breweries.
So in every new country we go to, I buy a tourist sticker, usually of the flag, if I can find one, and it goes on my laptop.
That's right. So she's got quite the collection on her laptop already. Gonna fill that thing up. So we're not gonna walk the whole way down the pedestrian promenade. It's very long, and we're getting kind of old, so start getting a sore back walking around. This is why you can't wait too long to retire, right? Travel the world full time if you can, because, you know, thinking you're going to retire at 65 and do this for 20 years, you're not likely to be able to. So. So the range in prices of stuff varies hugely. Outside of the downtown core, you're paying significantly less for stuff. Once you get onto that pedestrian promenade, holy smokes, the prices go up by a factor of 2 or 3. So Bulgaria is part of the Schengen zone. If you're traveling full-time or doing lots of traveling, you need to keep that in mind. The Schengen is a group of countries. Most people are allowed to stay 90 out of 180 days in the Schengen zone, sorry. So if you've used up all of your Schengen time, you wouldn't be able to come and spend time here, for example. So, you know, certainly something to keep in mind. It's part of Schengen, but it is not part of the European Union. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But it still does restrict your time to travel in many countries. So this in fact is the first Schengen country that we've stayed in since leaving Canada late in February. So we'll be using up a little bit of Schengen time, but as I said, it doesn't matter. It's the first one, and we have no plans to be in any other Schengen countries this year or through the majority of next year anyway. cool. Here we've got some kind of a old building in ruins. Have a look at a sign here and see if we can figure out what these are, what this place is. These are public Roman ruins, and there's a church. So that is the St. George Church. This is the oldest construction in Sofia, period. Amazing history. So the buildings surrounding this thing are the Ministry of Education and Science. All these old massive buildings. So these are real guards. Kind of like the guys you'd have outside Buckingham Palace with their rifles, all dressed up. Looking pretty official. Well, so a lot of these big buildings are all ministry of this, ministry of that. A lot of offices, a lot of bureaucratic people, I guess. Yeah, it's really neat to be able to stand in the middle of what would be otherwise really busy roads. The roads are massive throughout town here in Sofia. So for long-term stays, we always try generally not to stay in a capital city unless it's a smaller one. You know, we're just not a big fan of massive cities. This one is too huge for us to stay in more than, you know, a few days, sort of a week max. When we try to stay longer term, we try to stay in kind of smaller places or stuff that's kind of easier to get around. This city's pretty impressive. I'll give it that much. How does the pricing compare to the rest of the Balkans? It's kind of similar. Maybe a little bit more expensive for food, stuff like that. Like I say, we haven't been here that long. Just got here last night, so still sussing out what costs are for certain things, but certainly we know in a local neighborhood it's much better than being in the downtown area for sure. So in terms of food, you're going to find that a lot of the stuff here is, you know, very similar to the rest of the food in the Balkan region. Again, great quality fresh ingredients, lots of meat, lots of stew. It's pretty decent. So this is our 7th Balkan country on our trip so far this year. And you know, what do we think about the similarities and differences? You know, there's a lot of common things in the food, shared things in religion, people. You know, the common thing is that the food is very fresh and that the people are very friendly, very inviting. Welcome to tourists, welcome to people coming to stay. Very gracious. Sometimes outwardly not appearing to be friendly. Finding random smiles on the streets is not a thing, like you might find in North America, where people are kind of falsely friendly to people. But once you get to know people and they open up a bit, very friendly people, willing to help, willing to give you directions. You know, so far it's an outstanding experience. So one of the big things in Sofia is collecting drinking water at the public fountains. And you have people just filling up like endless, massive plastic water bottles of water. It's crazy. And apparently it goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, people collecting water in their jugs right here in the city. It's just all these stations for water and just filling up non-stop. There's supposed to be maybe some health benefits, apparently. We were looking up on Google. It's interesting. Look, it's crazy. Look at the amount of bottles. It's just an endless supply of fresh water. People coming in with their cars. They just park, bring out their empties, fill it all up, maybe spend 20 minutes, you know, and then away they go. It's interesting. There's different things in different places. This is what makes traveling so awesome. You just see things you're not used to. All right, so we spent some time around town today, wasted a couple hours on a patio people watching, and now we're hungry, so we're gonna do what every good tourist does in Bulgaria. We're going to an Iraqi restaurant for dinner. Lots of gambling joints as well. We're just looking for an ATM. So far we're 2 for 2 at no charge withdrawals. So we'll see here. Hi! So you're gonna get a lot of friendly people here. Everyone's always curious when you're filming. That's true, most of the Balkans, when you're talking to yourself in a camera, they're like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? So anyway, we found this Iraqi restaurant. Apparently it's got really good reviews. So we'll go try it out. We're always interested in trying things, and one thing we're not really interested in trying is more Balkan food necessarily. We've had, in 8 months, pretty much every dish you can possibly imagine. So I think we'll take a pass on that and see if we can get something just a little bit different, maybe a little more flavoring.
Success, no ATM fee. At least I don't think there was.
Yeah, so far in Bulgaria, no charge ATMs. That's pretty awesome. Gotta like that. So this is like barbershop row here. More barbershops. It's just barbers galore. Barber Alley. We're definitely in a different area within the city now. You can notice this. It's very apparent. I've never seen so many barbershops. This is where I need to come to get a haircut, I think. Hookah shop, barbershop. All right. So we're looking for an Iraqi restaurant. You can smell some amazing spices in this neighborhood. Big time. More barbers. And another one. Unbelievable. How many barbers? Barbers, barbers, barbers. We're kind of lost trying to find this restaurant here. Okay, so we managed to find our restaurant here. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. What's the story?
5:20.
Are we good?
No, we need to get table. We need to make a reservation.
Really? Okay, so we're here in the food. The menu's only in Cyrillic. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Okay, so restaurant fail. We're here at 5:30. They're open till 7. They have all sorts of stuff on the menu, but all they have left now is okra, rice, and beans. They said we can come back tomorrow at 3 and have a full menu. So they weren't particularly friendly to us in there, and they were serving other people meat and stuff. We were obviously the only non-locals there. So we're actually kind of not sure if they were kind of just giving us the bum's rush, and we sat. It took a while before anyone even acknowledged us. And then when they came, they just pointed and said, only these 3 things, that's it. Out of a giant menu, so who the hell knows? Some places definitely cook until they run out, but to think that they would have nothing left is really kind of confusing to me. I'm not sure they wanted us to be there, so strange. So we found another little local place here. We'll check this out. They do have some food.
Sometimes things really don't go the way you think they will in the Balkans. This dinner situation was one of those moments. After poking our faces into the window of the local meat grill and seeing all the food that was ready cooked and in trays, we were pointed to have a seat at a table. We were under the impression someone would come and take our order, but instead, we started to receive gigantic trays of meat. And as you can see, I mean gigantic. First came kofta and kobasicha, then came chicken, then came an entire tray of just sausages, only to be followed up with a huge serving of 3 types of salad. A couple of minutes later, out came a giant tray of roasted sweet red peppers and pickled hot peppers. We started to dig in, but realized We had been given enough food for about 8 people, not 4. I checked out the kitchen area. Pretty much all the food that was in there when we showed up was now sitting at our table. Now don't get me wrong, the food was pretty tasty, albeit most of the meat was just warm, not hot. We did our best to tackle the mound of what we were served, but actually didn't order. As if that wasn't enough food, out came a giant plate of chips. In the end, we had more than half the food sent to us left over to take home. The best part of the meal actually was the following day, as it forced us to hold a dinner party, which was fantastic. We bought some pitas and made wraps with some homemade tzatziki and salad. That meal the following night was very good, but we still ended up giving a tray of food to the street dogs. Okay, so dinner's done. Here's the fountains in town. Dry as a bone. The price was actually reasonable, but I think what happened was we were fed basically most of the food that he had left that he didn't think he'd sell for the rest of the day, sitting on hot trays. So we have enough food left over for another meal tomorrow. So with that in mind, it's pretty reasonable, but it's really not what we wanted. But without being able to communicate and not understanding what was going on, you know what, these are the things that happen, and they don't happen very often, but they do happen once in a while. Anyway, we saved money on a taxi. Kind of got a bit of a ride there on the food, but you know, these are the things that happen, and you just have to accept that once in a while that's going to be the way it is, and you just move on. My name's Jay.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a couple of crazy Canadians traveling the world full time. We hope you like what we're doing, and if you do, hit the like and subscribe button down below. It helps our channel out. We'll see you in the next one.
Ciao.
Ciao.